Thank you for joining us in the studio. Look who we have. It's DREAMCAR.
All right.
How are you? We're going to take some questions from the fans later on, but first, I get to chat with you. I'm very excited because I did get to listen to some of your songs on the album. I have to say, I do have a favorite, which I'll tell you later, but we hear about collaborations all the time, but you guys came together as a new band, and you have an album. How are you feeling releasing this to your fans right now?
Every single part of this process has been so much fun. From writing the music together to going in the studio and recording it and now sharing it with people. The album's out. Just came out on May 12th. And we're playing these club shows, and it's been just incredibly fun, like sharing the music and having people sing the lyrics back to us. Every part of this has been awesome. Do you feel that adrenaline? You know, when you first started as No Doubt in AFI, is that, I guess it's like a rebirth. Do you feel that way right now, that excitement?
Absolutely. And being able to perform these songs is really the most impactful for us. We, you know, and the referring to the rebirth, in that we have no history as this unit. We were able to create from a very unique place of freedom that is a luxury for you know, people like us who have been making music for so long and have individual pasts and have pasts, you know, from different bands. So it was really, really exciting to be able to work from that perspective in isolation for years before anyone really knew about it.
It was a secret for a long time, too.
Yeah, it was. We didn't let anyone know about it. We didn't know really what it was going to be, and we just wrote for fun. And then we really created this record, this body of work that we loved, had the opportunity to release it, and now have the opportunity to play those songs, which I think I speak for most of us is the most exciting aspect of it, to then bring those songs to people and see the reaction and see them enjoying it as we have been on this tour. We're really grateful for it.
Now, I understand this started with a date. They took you out for dinner, and a successful date, I guess, right?
It
Coming
was
together.
Wonderful. It was wonderful. I had sex with all three of them. Individually, though.
Individually,
it wasn't anything,
no.
It wasn't anything racy, saucy like that. I would never.
Maybe the next record, but that's what we have to do.
Oh my God. So what was it about Davey that you wanted to approach him and make him part of the band and collaborate with him? There must have been something really special about him.
Stamina.
We were fans of Davey's work, and actually, Davey performed with No Doubt. He Black Audio performed with No Doubt in 2012, and I remember watching him from the side of the stage, that close up, and he is magnetic and thrilling. And somehow, you know, when we the three of us, Tony and Adrian and I, decided to that we wanted to keep playing music together. I think you were the first and only one we asked on a date.
Very flattering.
Yeah.
That must feel really special.
Yeah, I did and do feel very special.
We only had eyes for you.
Yes, and I need that. I need that emotionally. I need at least to be told that. I know it's not true.
We tell them that every day.
You know,
You're magnetic. That's an amazing way to...
your only choice.
Where did the name come from, DREAMCAR? Who came up with it?
I came upon the name DREAMCAR, and I brought it to the boys, and we all felt that it was a really great representation of what we're doing, feeling that it is evocative of very different things depending on the person who reads it. You know, DREAMCAR is idyllic. It is something that maybe is the dream but unachievable, or perhaps it is achievable. It can be attainable. It can be something that is only imagined. It can speak of nostalgia or something futuristic, something powerful, something sleek, something romantic. Speaks of freedom, and that's what we had in creating this project. But for each person, it's something different. I feel that the record is that way as well. That in listening to it, each person can take something different.
Did you have another name that you were thinking of?
You know, coming up with a name was probably the most challenging part of being in this band so far. Everything else was relatively easy. We had some other ones that were floated around between the four of us, and then, you know, you talk about them, and then like a week will pass by, and you'll be like, you know, I'm not really feeling that anymore. Or maybe in the case of Tom, Adrian, or myself, a significant other might say, you know what, I don't think that should be the name of your band. And so there's all these different things that happen, but DREAMCAR kind of came later on in the process, and that one just felt right on every level.
It's interesting. It's something none of us have experienced in the same way, being that, I mean, certainly with AFI and No Doubt, we were kids and we didn't care. We didn't think it mattered.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
And for some reason we decided that this mattered a lot. And like with my history with like Black Audio, actually Jade had come up with that name and it was immediately perfect. It was like, oh yeah, that's what we're doing. And the same with Extremists, but this was the first time I think any of us have had really such a long, thoughtful.
It was tough.
Struggle.
It was tough.
Really tough.
Yeah. And again, the times being that, you know, what they are, everyone has taken every name.
That is true.
Which is why you're seeing artists with strange icons and spellings and words that don't pair.
Put a Z at the end of everything.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. Or in the beginning and in the middle. Or else you can't have it. Yeah. Some unpronounceable
names. Yeah. Well, I love the name. And the fact that you guys started 2 years ago and kept it hush for almost a year, we didn't know about it. Was there any hesitation on your part as AFI and No Doubt? Because you kind of had to put your No Doubt and AFI to the side. Did you think about all that when you started?
Well, I didn't. I was doing both at the exact same time.
Were you?
Oh,
so
yeah,
you were exhausted.
Absolutely.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, I came off. We were when the boys approached me. Jade and I had finished the Black Audio material record and were working towards releasing that. So we began writing before Black Audio toured and continued to write throughout the Black Audio tour and continued to write throughout the writing of the Blood record. And I actually recorded the Blood record and the DREAMCAR self-titled simultaneously.
That's insane. And you guys, what were you thinking at the time?
We've been on a break, so for us, it was a little bit of a different process. You know, we just we discussed earlier, we love playing music together, so it was just about going in there and just continuing to play together.
Now, your other partner, Gwen, did you talk to her 2 years ago about doing another record or collaborating at that time?
She's been doing The Voice, and she put out a solo record and toured that last year. So, kind of not clear on the timeline, but yeah, when we knew that this was, we talked to her about it when we were just writing songs in the early stage. Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you did, what does she think of the album? Did she listen to it yet?
She's been supporting us on social media. We've seen some really, really nice, sweet, supportive tweets and posts. Yeah.
That's amazing. And so now we know that AFI and No Doubt is still around. So fans, don't worry about it. They're still here.
Davey's literally leaving us this week and going to do AFI shows. Like, this is the hardest working man.
Yeah, I've been on tour with AFI, so they already knew that.
That's crazy. But, so how are you dealing with all that, being on tour and doing both?
That's great. I mean, I'm very lucky to have the opportunity to do both. They're so very different from each other, but speak to me very strongly in different ways. So, I'm having a great time. It's really nice. I just came off tour with AFI, touring with DREAMCAR, going straight back to AFI in a couple of days.
Now, you guys being on tour as well as fathers, is it different this time around?
It is.
Yeah.
It's different because, at least for the moment, the kids aren't with us. And in the past, they were often with us. And, but, we have a lot of breaks, partially thanks to Davey's hectic schedule. So we will be with our families much of the summer.
Oh, nice. That's really nice.
On Friday, we played in New York, and then we flew to LA on Saturday morning to play a radio show out there, only to fly back to the East Coast on Sunday. So we had that 24-hour period in LA to see our families and see our kids and reconnect for a second before we headed back out again. So special moments, yeah.
And talking about our own lives, I understand the lyrics are based on your own life.
Sure. As is typical with lyrics I write, I was very, very lucky to have the luxury of being able to write freely, based on my own experiences. And the boys are very supportive of that, which I really appreciated, and complimentary, which was very kind. But this is, another extension of my perspective and where I am. Right now, I always hope that people can take something from it, that they can relate to it in some way, and so far that seems to be the case. Whatever that may be, whether or not it's my intention is really no concern to me, just as long as people can take something from it and enjoy it.
All of the Dead Girls?
All of them. Or even some of them.
So where did that song come from?
A dear friend of mine, a dear friend of mine, Josh Richmond, who I lived with for many years, in his house in the Hollywood Hills, wherein the DREAMCAR record was written. My part of that process, I was in there receiving music from them and writing the top lines and melodies, and where Jade and I wrote the Blood record and the Burial record, or no, just the Burials record and the Extremist record. It's a very great creative space. Josh has said on occasion, essentially, all the dead girls love you. And he meant one thing by that, which is a misimpression on his part. And but there are layers to that sentiment that are true and untrue. And it was me addressing that kind sentiment because it was meant with kindness, but really kind of detailing the reality of the situation.
It's my favorite song.
Yeah,
I love it. I keep listening to it. It's great. It's brilliant. And part of it, you do feel that 80s influence in this album. How would you describe the album to the fans out there, the vibe of it?
It's so hard to describe music, isn't it?
Yeah, it's multi-layered, especially when you create it. It's really it's easier for people to listen to it and describe what they feel from it, because we're so.
Did you approach it differently from working as No Doubt and?
There were no expectations. Nobody knew what we were doing. For the first year and a half, this was all done in secrecy. And the reason we did that is because we didn't know what was going to become of this. We wanted to write together and be creative together. And we had no idea where this was going to go. So because of that, because there were no expectations, we just could have these like really beautiful expressions of creativity in the moment. And I think what you're hearing is obviously the stuff that is part of us. We grew up at a time when music was what, lots of stuff that you hear on the record, that's kind of we were inspired by that stuff. So there was never any discussion about what kind of band we were going to be, what kind of music we were going to make.
Oh, really? You just kind of came together and said, this is what we want to create. And
exactly. And that's what happened.
Oh, yeah. But so the inspiration, who was your inspiration from the 80s? Did you have a favorite band or a singer that you kind of influenced your music?
I think we all listened to so many bands during that period.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, the ones that had the greatest impact were British. So a lot of that 80s British invasion, whether you're looking at the new romantic side of ABC and OMD and Duran Duran and and the Pet Shop Boys and Human League, and then a lot of aspects of DREAMCAR for me touched on, oddly enough, because you don't hear it pronounced as much, but a lot of British and American death rock, from the Virgin Prunes to Thrill Kill Cult, not so much death rock there, but you can hear some Sex Gang, and as far as like the rhythmic aspects of it, and that I kind of heard those tones in there too, which I think we could go on and list hundreds and hundreds of artists that really inspired us, but none of which we looked to directly when we were really making this record.
Do you have a favorite song off the album?
No, I think generally, do you find a lot of artists have favorite songs on their records?
I think there is a song that you'd like to perform.
Okay, well, there's that.
Right?
Yes.
There's one that just gets you going. There must be one for you.
I have a favorite to perform, which is The Assailant. That's my favorite to perform. Where are you guys at? What are your favorites?
My favorite to watch you perform is The Assailant.
Thank you, Tom.
This happened like when we were recording that song in the studio. Every time we got through, it's I don't know if it's going to be a single or not, but to me, Davey's delivery is so dramatic and so, again, magnetic. It's just like over the top, all the way.
Thank you. Look
at all the love for you.
It's really kind.
This is amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, lyrically, I have a very, very strong connection to that song. I have very deep connections with all of them, but that one particularly pronounces itself when performing the song.
Does this mean there will be another album?
Does it mean there will be another album? I mean,
there's a lot of love here. There's a lot of energy between you guys, right?
We talk about it all the time.
You do.
I'm excited to go back in the studio and write some more songs. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
This record just came out, so.
I know, but you're ready to go on to the next thing, right?
We hope to play more on this record.
Yes, we got some more shows to play.
Yeah, we have not exhausted our love for this record yet.
Tomorrow night at the Phoenix. That's the next thing.
How has it been on stage? You said you've already performed a few times. How is it being up there with your fans? I mean, this is new for them to see you guys together. How has it been for you?
Well, I mean, playing these songs live has been super fun and super easy, and it could have been a struggle. It's one thing to write and record together, but to have chemistry on stage or not, you never know. And once we started playing together in the rehearsal room, we knew instantly, like, this is going to be fun, this is going to work, this is not going to be hard. Yeah. And tomorrow night, you'll see it.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Are you ready to play a game?
No.
Yay, they're ready to play a game!
She heard yes. She heard yes.
That was a beautiful yes. We're going to play a fun game called Never Have I Ever.
We're really playing this?
We're really playing. Yay!
It's the game.
You're so excited. I'm so excited that you're so excited about this game.
Oh.
Facebook
I see.
Live.
This should be easy.
We're going to make this should be easy.
We don't have to
Okay.
actually talk. We just hold up a sign?
Yes.
Oh, that's easy.
This is called Never Have I Ever. Okay, are you ready? Never have I ever gotten a tattoo I regret.
Never have I ever.
Never have.
This is a double negative.
Never have I ever gotten a tattoo I regret.
So the real working within double negatives for me, this is the correct
I
answer.
have never.
But what you want me to say is this.
Whatever
This
you
is
like.
poorly phrased.
You can pick whatever you like.
I don't like any of this.
Do you love all your tattoos?
No,
Oh, which one do you not like?
all of them.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Why?
Just
It's an
bad
impression
decisions.
of your.
Is it?
your-
Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't like it.
Oh, is there one particular one that you don't like?
No, not one particular one.
Can I see them? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No.
How about you guys? Do you guys have tattoos?
Yes,
And
but I don't regret any of them. So what's
Okay.
my answer?
That's
See, that's conundrum. Your answer is that.
My answer is this: I have and I don't
Going
regret.
You
Great.
have never regretted.
I have to
never
erase the
have-
double negative.
so that means I
need to
have
simplify
regretted?
this. I have no regrets
I'm getting confused
in
now.
tattoo world.
I have never
I have no
regretted.
tattoos.
No
tattoo
tattoos.
idea.
No tattoos. No tattoos. Never have I ever gone skinny dipping in a hotel pool.
Have I ever in a hotel?
Yeah, I
pool?
know you did.
I have done that.
You have done that.
I have done that.
I don't think I have.
No,
All right.
you have.
We're going to change that tonight.
Tonight you're going to do
for
it.
these two.
Yeah, it's
That'll
true.
be our interesting
Where did you go skinny dipping?
I feel like Santa Barbara, they were
Norway.
skinny dipping. Norway, they were skinny dipping.
You guys did that together? Is that why?
No, Tom
Norway?
watched. Tom just watched.
Actually, I got on a
just
plane
watched.
and left. I wasn't there.
Yes, that's right. They were skinny dipping at that hotel, indoor pool.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. I'm not going to ask what happened that night. Never have I ever used my fame to get out of a sticky situation. Like maybe a ticket, maybe?
Oh,
I don't think.
Right? Have
well,
you
I
used your
didn't
name?
use it. It was a gift.
It was a gift.
Exactly that. I didn't. It was exactly that. I was pulled over, and the officer said,
No way.
"Are you this guy?" I said, "Maybe." And they let me out of the ticket.
You're like, I'm totally that guy then.
Yeah, I'm totally. And then we talked about the germs.
Yeah.
We did.
Germs.
Yeah, we talked about germs.
What germs?
The Germs were a seminal Los Angeles hardcore punk band.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
You? You're thinking about it, I could tell.
I have.
With a police officer, or was it for a burger, or for...
It was probably to get inside somewhere to the front of the line, which is really obnoxious. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's happened.
What about the parking lot thing with the key to the city of Anaheim?
Oh, yes. So we were given the key to the city of Anaheim. And I said, someone made a joke like, you can get free parking. So, and it's pretty big. It's
like
framed.
a framed thing.
And my wife and I went to a concert in Anaheim. I brought it with me. This is so obnoxious.
You took the
And I
key.
grabbed it from the front seat, and I got to the parking lot attendant, and I said, I was told to get free parking for life in Anaheim.
Wow.
And this is my key to the city.
That's
How
fantastic.
big is a key? This big?
It's probably this big, this deep. So dumb.
Did you actually receive the free parking?
It totally worked.
There you go.
And then I did it again, like a year later, and this older man looked at me and just said, after I gave my spiel, he said, "That's $10, please." Straight face.
Yeah, didn't care.
Didn't care.
Didn't care. Never have I ever worn a pair of my bandmates' underwear. Never, never.
That would be gross.
Yeah, but if you need a pair, and could
I'd
happen.
rather free ball than do that.
Never have I ever sent a naughty text to the wrong person.
No, the scarring that would occur would absolutely.
Never made a mistake.
Not like that.
Wow.
No, you got to be careful with. What
Well,
you write.
naughty could be defined as anything, really.
Not really.
No.
Davey's very
I'm trying here. I'm trying. These guys are all clean.
Not anything. We told you we didn't want to play the game.
You guys are so good.
Okay.
It was so
We did
confusing,
well.
but we got
Did
it.
we win?
got it. Did they win anything?
Did we
they
win?
don't win anything,
Where's our
unfortunately.
You get a bottle of water. Thank you.
I like that.
Steven's going to
Hydrate.
So I think we're going
Thank
to take
you.
some questions from our fans that are watching right now. Your fans, of course, DREAMCAR. And we have our first question.
From George.
From George.
George asks, how does it feel to reconnect with your fans on a more intimate level at your club shows?
Okay, I think that would be for everyone other than me.
How does it feel
To connect with your fans on a more intimate level?
to connect with your
Well,
fans
that's
on a more
actually-
intimate level?
George, that's a great question because for Tom, Adrian, and myself, we haven't done clubs in many years. So there's something to be said about big shows and small shows, and the intimacy of clubs and the energy that's contained in a small club is so powerful. And you get reminded of that when you're on these stages. And there's, like some of these stages that we've been playing on together, and we all like to move around a lot. There was a couple stages in Orange County. The stage literally is the size of what we're sitting on right here. Like if you move 1 foot extra, you're going to knock a bandmate off the stage. But there's something special about that, and it's just contained and fun. And big stages are great, big venues are great, small venues are great. But it's been nice to be playing.
Do you get nervous when you get on stage? No. Never? Butterflies? The
At
minute you
home
hit the-
sometimes.
It's
Yeah.
it has to be a unique circumstance to cause nerves. Usually, if there's a specific person there,
Yeah.
or a specific venue, a specific city.
Who's a specific person? Who would make you nervous if you're on
Well,
stage?
for instance, the first thing that sprung to mind was when AFI played in Los Angeles recently. One of the shows, all of DREAMCAR attended both of the AFI shows. As I was walking to stage, Chino and Billy Corrigan were backstage, and I said hi to him, and I said, "Man, you guys, I don't want to sing in front of you guys. Like, why you got to be here watching me sing?" So
You were
when they're-
nervous that I was there?
I didn't know till afterwards.
Wow.
Thank goodness.
There
Yeah,
you
I was
go.
like, I
I
walked
would've
out on
just
stage.
driven
I wouldn't have walked
crazy
out on
out.
stage.
It's amazing.
You know
I
what he
feel nervous
does?
on stage with Tom, just in general. 'Cause I work-
Just make people nervous.
You never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen.
Oh, Tom, you're going to take that.
He walks on the crowd, like they hold him up like this,
Yeah.
and I'm at
Oh,
the
it's so
AFI
funny.
show,
I thought you
and
were
I
kidding.
feel this someone's walks on my shoulder. I'm like, what the?
Yeah.
And it's him. Like, hey,
I didn't know.
you're walking on
You
me,
know.
Adrian told me after I thought he was making a joke that I had
Yeah.
stepped on him, but sorry, man.
stepping on me.
Sorry, didn't
All
mean to.
love. It's all love.
It's
Next
purely
question from a fan.
George.
Another question from George. Another George?
Yeah, same George.
Oh, it's the same George. He
How
gets.
do the kids like the DREAMCAR music?
How
Oh,
do the
they
kids
love
like
it. The
DREAMCAR
kids
music?
love it. I have a 5-year-old who knows every song.
Wow.
Oh yeah, big time.
What song do you sing to your kids?
From DREAMCAR or just
Whatever
in general?
Is there a song that you like to sing to your kids?
Did you sing, Adrian?
Oh man.
It could be a kid's
No one
song.
wants to hear me sing. It hurts people, but I like to.
You Are
no.
My Sunshine.
I'm not going to do it.
Which one is it?
Strangely, I was going to say Kill for Candy has another different meaning for
Kills
kids
for Candy.
than it does, I think, for grown-ups.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Yeah.
It appeals straight to their sensibility about sweets.
I'd kill for candy too.
As a child, that's all that mattered.
What's your favorite candy?
Well, it's not candy.
Next question from a fan.
Right into that.
See?
Bodie.
What has been the most rewarding thing during this new project?
That's a nice question. Bodie asks, yeah, what's been the most rewarding thing during this
Wow.
project?
There's been so much rewarding. For me, it's the live performance.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
right now.
And
the
seeing
live
that
performances.
reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're playing now. The majority of the shows we've played with DREAMCAR were prior to the release of the records. So depending on when it was, there was only 1 or 2 or 3 songs that were publicly released. But these past few shows, the record has been out, and the majority of the audience knows the majority of the songs, and it's really a great experience after keeping them to ourselves for so long to be able to share them in that.
Yes.
The audience, like last night, we played in Boston, and I
Yeah.
think at least 80% were singing every song
Yeah,
with us,
amazing.
back to us.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
Oh, that's a great feeling. That's pretty
Yeah.
good. Last question?
Nicole asks, do you have any plans for more shows after the tour?
We have many shows planned.
Yes. We are doing the Life is Beautiful Festival.
Okay.
So we do Toronto tomorrow night, play here in Toronto, then we do Detroit on Friday, Chicago on Saturday, And then our next show, or I don't know the order of stuff, but we do the Life is Beautiful Festival. We do the Austin City Limits Festival.
We're playing in Atlantic City.
Atlantic City with Pink. There's a few shows coming up. It's exciting.
There's more.
There's more.
And I can't remember what they are.
They haven't been announced yet. There's stuff.
Oh, there's more that hasn't been announced?
Got it.
Ooh.
Hang on.
Secrets.
Is there one you're looking forward to particularly?
They're
or?
all fun.
They're all fun.
So much fun to get on stage. Yeah.
I really enjoy Austin City Limits. I've played that
Have you
festival.
played that?
Yeah, I've played that festival with AFI, and it's a wonderful festival. A lot of great
good.
bands typically. I don't know what the lineup is this year, but I presume there will be great bands as there usually are.
2 weekends.
And it's 2 weekends. You go, you come back, you watch Depeche Mode, you go again.
Yeah.
Oh, is that in between? We're going to see Depeche Mode at home?
I think the Depeche Mode. I think it's that. I think it's Austin ACL that falls in the middle of Depeche Mode shows in Los Angeles.
Wow.
So if you'd like to find us in between, we will be at the Hollywood Bowl watching Depeche Mode.
DREAMCAR, dream come true.
Hey.
That was pretty cheesy. Thanks for joining us here on Facebook Live. And of course, you'll be playing at the Phoenix tomorrow.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for having us.